Hello, Livonia. Welcome to Livonia On Air. I'm Rob Drzwicki. I'm your Director of Government Affairs and Community Outreach. And I am joined for a second time by one of our favorite guests, Mr. Don Roraff, Superintendent of the Department of Public Works, the building that we're in right now. Don, thank you so much for coming out.
Rob, no problem. Happy to be here for, as you mentioned, the second time.
You're our first, it's the first time we've ever invited a guest back. You must be just that good. The people seem to love you. But we've got a lot of stuff going on, especially with the DPW, but it's that time of year, right? Where the big fat guy with the red suit and the white beard is out delivering things to nice kids, good kids all over the country and all over the world. But we've got some other deliveries happening right here in Livonia. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, that's for sure. As you know, we've kicked off with the first podcast here, the delivery and the deploying of all the carts for recycling and for trash. I'm happy to tell you at this point, we are about 75% there. So we've got about 25% more to go. We're on schedule. We should be having every cart delivered to every individual residential home by the end of this week, which would be December 13th. December 12th is really the cutoff for me personally, but we'll give it that one extra day, right?
Sure.
So the only ones that we really will be, kind of tying up the loose ends on will be a lot of these condo complexes that are, as you probably know, are pretty difficult in a lot of different ways to try to figure out what's the best process for them.
Sure, no two sets of condos are going to be the same. They're always unique. They're set up that way. It's the way Livonia's always liked, those types of communities is we want them to be their own unique little neighborhood, which poses a few extra, challenges for our folks delivering. But I was out yesterday. I was driving home from the Marion Bright Parade, and I could have sworn on a Sunday at 5:30 at night, I drove by a big box truck full of these toter trash carts. Are they delivering on Sundays too?
7 days a week. We're going to make sure we make our deadline. They've been delivering 7 days a week since the day they started. The only day they have not worked was Thanksgiving.
Well, everybody deserves their turkey
That's
and
right.
a good Lions
That's
game.
right.
So that's good, as long as they got their time in there. So as we've been doing all these deliveries, tens of thousands of these have been delivered to folks' front doors. Nobody's had to go and pick them up or anything like that. We've had a few extra questions come up. One of them is about folks that said that their lids were a little bit warped, that they weren't quite fitting to the top. Do we know what's going on there?
Yep, absolutely. Those are just happening from the way they're stacked when they are transported here. Depending on the temperature, which since our last podcast, we've had just about everything, 60, 12 degrees, some snow, but in all seriousness, the lids will settle, right? It's just the way they were stacked. A lot of them are coming in looking like they're warped. They look like they're not going to happen. The warmer it is, the quicker they're settle. If it's cold outside, it's probably going to take a day or two for those to actually relax and fit like they're supposed to. But we've received a lot of calls here at DPW on that as well. And rest assured, everyone that I've seen that have been twisted, bent, they're all back to normal within a day or two.
Seems like the logic is if it seems like it's a little warped or a little off center, just wait around a little bit, kind of like the weather here. Wait around a while, it'll change, right?
That's right.
That's good to know. It's good to know because, folks, the last thing anybody wants is a trash can that's going to have its lid stuck up. We all know what happens, especially in the summertime. We're lucky that this is the winter right now where it's keeping our trash a bit chilled. We've also got some folks telling us that they don't think the deliveries are as smooth as they would like. They're saying folks are kind of tossing these toter carts right off of the truck. It's like a WWE wrestling match. It's how concerned should we be? How heavy duty are these toter carts?
These are very well constructed. I have zero concern about anything being damaged. I think in all of the deployment up to this point, 75% deployed, I think we've had one lid that was cracked, and I really think that may have been cracked on the way here. I don't even think it happened when it got here type thing. But it's pretty normal when the delivery crew is showing up that they're taking the stack of cans that are on that trailer and they're just tipping them, letting them fall, and then unloading them that way. They're trying to get as efficient as they can by stacking as many as they can into the trailers that are hauling them there. But that is common that they'll just drop them in the road. I know we've received some calls here saying, hey, they're just throwing them all over the place. But that's really I mean, I think it's a testament to how they are built, and there's no concerns on my part.
Yeah, if we're not seeing a lot of broken wheels, broken lids, and things like that, I think these folks know their trash carts very well. They know what they're able to handle, so it's good to know we're not seeing a lot of actual broken pieces out there.
Correct.
Which is really good. Another question we've been getting a lot is, where the heck am I supposed to put my trash cans now? These trash cans are different from my old trash cans. Where do they have to go in a different place?
Absolutely no, right? The answer is no. Taking it to the curb, it goes to the same spot that you would have taken it if you were taking out a bag of garbage, your 32-gallon can, whatever it is, your recycling bin. They go to the same spot. When you take them back in after that, they can go on the side of the house. We have got some calls that people still haven't got word that, hey, they can be stacked on the side of your house, on the side of your garage. They do not need to be completely in the back of the house. If you've got room on the side, that's great. Ideally, most people seem to be finding a spot to put them in their garage, but nothing really should change. The size is a little bit bigger depending on what you had previously, right? If you just had a 32-gallon can, now you have 2 cans. Obviously, you have 2 cans you got to deal with, but the footprint of that, of the carts that we have aren't really that much bigger than your existing 32-gallon cans that were out there.
Sure, yeah, and we talked about that in the last podcast where we looked at the dimensions of these bases, and they're not significantly different. It does look a lot bigger. It's certainly taller.
Yes.
It's a taller piece, but it's certainly not taking up a huge footprint on your garage floor. I've got 2 orange recycle bins that I used previous to when I got my 96-gallon toter, and 2 little orange bins take up a heck of a lot more floor space in my garage than the one big 96-gallon one. So it's good to know. How about those old bins that we've got? We've got the old orange recycling bins. We've got some old trash cans that we've all been using. We're still getting questions. What do I do with these?
That's funny. We're getting those same questions, right?
Hey, imagine that.
I wonder if it's the same people. No, and again, we're still relaying that same message, right? Repurpose them, right? They're there. You want to throw them out in your yard and use them for firewood, for a bonfire. You want to use them for, soda and pop cans as a recycle bin. If you want to use them to, paint up and use as a flower, a potting system for vegetables or flowers or whatever you want to do to repurpose them. But if you don't, just throw them in your recycle bin. They'll take them and they'll be recycled.
It'll fit. What if I got a bigger trash can? It won't fit in there. Can I do an X on the side of it or anything like that?
Absolutely. You just flip it over. This is just like the old garbage can, right? You don't want your old garbage can. Flip it over. Put an X on it with your set it out next to your new carts, and they'll take it and dispose of it properly.
Seems like the solutions haven't changed at all. The only thing that's changed is the carts have wheels now. The solution, if you've got an old trash can, it was always you put it out, throw it out upside down, or throw a red X on that thing,
That's right.
and they're going to take that. If you've got an old recycle bin that you don't want to use anymore, reuse it, do something different with it. These are the same old solutions to the same old problems that we've had. The only new thing in here is a couple of new carts, really nice, hard, durable toter carts.
I wouldn't advise people to use the orange tubs like I pretty sure I saw you doing when we got that little bit of snow. Sitting in there and trying to go down a hill is probably not going to work.
I was not injured.
It's okay.
I'm fine. I took a couple of Motrin afterwards, but yeah, it doesn't slide very well. Yeah. And I'll tell the kids out there, the orange trash bin has these holes in the bottom and some surface to it, and you just can't get a good slope down the hill, and you end up just falling on your face, and then your wife yells at you. That's how that all works out.
But it's great to see from afar.
I'm sure it was, and if we've got that on video, we'll sell tickets to allow folks to see it. One thing we're getting a lot of questions on, I think there's probably some confusion. We've got 2 different cart sizes, and we're getting word that some people think they got the wrong size cart. How do I know? Like I've got 2 of the same size cart. I don't know if they're 96 or 64. I can't tell from just looking at it. Is there anywhere on that cart that it actually says the number of gallons in there?
Absolutely. And being honest and seeing thousands of these carts, standing at the end of the driveway and looking up at somebody's, garage area, I'm not sure I could tell you the difference between the two. But if you have the handle, you'll see the toter marked on the lid. Just to the right of that lid will tell you if that's 64 gallon or 96 gallon. So it's right above the handles on the lid itself.
So when I went on and ordered, different sizes, somebody might come and deliver them, and I say I need a small and a large, and well, small, large, these words are relative to different people, right? So it's a 64 gallon or a 96 gallon, because I'm sure Toter makes different sizes as well.
That they do.
And we can look into that down the road. I think what we're trying to do right now is make sure everybody's got what they need to get their trash picked up in the most efficient way possible.
That's correct.
That's great. So speaking of that, if I want to get another trash can, or if I want to exchange a trash can, or if I don't think I've got the right size, what should I be doing right now?
Well, there's a couple of different approaches to that, right? If you went online and you filled out the form, that's going to be submitted to DPW. You're going to be put on the list, and those are for majority of those people are the ones that missed the deadline to be able to call in and when they got their postcard and switch their size, or they just didn't do it. Right?
Sure.
But so they'll be put on a list, and we'll be bringing them out, and we'll exchange those for all of those people. April 1st, we'll be starting to do that.
All right. So come springtime, everybody will be able to get exactly what they had originally wanted.
That is correct.
In the meantime, they might just have a bigger or a smaller trash or recycling bin than necessary.
If they don't want to give it a try for that 2 or 3 months and they're adamant about it, and they have the means, they can bring those 2 carts that are the wrong size, whether they're 96 or 64, they can bring them to DPW, and we'll switch them out for them here.
All right, so they can come right here, Farmington Road, just south of Schoolcraft Road here, and they'll be able to exchange, get what they need while they need it. One more question, we're getting a ton, and again, it's the same questions, same answers as we've had for at least the last 40 years I've lived in Livonia. I've got more trash than I can fit into my 96 gallon, cart, which, heck, I've got 2 kids, I've got a dog and 2 cats. There's plenty of times, especially around the holidays, that I'm sure I'm going to have more than 96 gallons.
Coming.
If I've got big bags of trash, what should I do with them?
Well, once your can's full, you can set those bags out right next to the can.
Set them right next to the can.
Yep.
They can have a whole ton of those things sitting right there, and our folks from Priority are still going to pick those up, as we've always had in the city.
That's correct. So in your case, Rob, it's a 96 gallon. That's going to hold 9, 10, 11 bags of garbage. If you've got more than that, because you probably have a couple of people over to your house for a holiday party, which I'm sure I probably won't get invited to again. Anyway,
it got lost in the mail.
You can take those extra bags and just set them right next to the cart. As you know, and I think we might even brought this up, and it's out on FAQs and everything else on the website. We are not that community that says if it's not in the cart, it's not getting picked up.
Right.
Right. If it's cart's full, you have a lamp, you have an end table, you have whatever, they're going to pick it up. Right. We have the cart plus 5 items. So if you're going to go over 15, 16 bags, I'd be surprised.
Maybe spread it around to the neighbors.
There you go.
Get in with your community a little bit. But yeah, I can't tell you how often just on my street that I've seen 2 trash cans, the recycling bins are out there, and then there's an end table, an old couch, and 5 old lamps in a big pile. And that's Friday morning when I'm driving to work, and Friday evening when I come home. The streets are clean. Everything's fine there.
Yep.
That is one thing I'm noticing. I don't know if you've gotten this kind of commentary. If you're going to those neighborhoods that have already gotten their toter delivery and they're kind of in the groove now, right? They're not still using their old trash cans, and everybody's got their trash cans
Looks
out there.
sweet, doesn't it?
Holy cow, it's so much cleaner.
Yeah, it looks so good.
And I'm not seeing, Primo's pizza boxes flying all over the place because there's, the open air of the bins. I'm just seeing a nice clean street that everybody seems to have gotten on board, and they're really excited to have these cans. Yeah. I know it was the first thing my mother said when she got her can in that first Friday that they were getting picked up, is she said, the neighborhood looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. It's as simple as a trash cart, and it's making your neighborhood more beautiful.
I'm going to be honest, when I started driving some of these neighborhoods after the carts were deployed, I've never really just paid that much attention that it was such a hodgepodge. You got orange tubs, you got green garbage cans, black garbage cans. You just got garbage thrown all over, at the curb in bags and not even in cans. And then getting down these streets now, it's like, wow, it's so uniform. It blends. I think they look great.
Yeah.
It's just an added bonus to, some of the things like we talked about before. The orange bins were horrible for us with recycling and
Sure.
materials blowing all over and getting in our storm sewers and at the end of cul-de-sacs, if you happen to be one of those lucky individuals that would catch everybody's stuff, right?
Sure.
But no, it's so much cleaner. It looks great.
Yeah, we have our Friday walkers in our neighborhood, and they're out of a job now. Our Friday walkers would go around and they'd pick up all the recycling that had blown out of the cans and put it back into the different cans. So you never knew. I hope there was never a police investigation into any of these, because it was always from one to the other. We were all interchanged there, So another question we're getting a lot, Don, is about identifying these carts. And there's a little alphanumeric kind of a gizmo on the front. It's been in style for many years to somehow put your address on your trash can. Is that something we need to be doing as well?
No, I mean, definitely. If you're worried about the cans getting mixed up, if you're worried about any of that, you can stencil that on there. You can put a piece of tape, write it on there, any of that. That's encouraged if that makes you feel better. To your point, they all have a serial number on there. Those numbers are not identified exactly to every household. So if you wanted to put your last name, if you wanted to put your address on there, any of that is acceptable. That can is yours to identify and make sure that, if you're concerned about it getting mixed up.
In case that neighborhood kid, he was only 16 and he's driving a little bit too fast down your street and he knocks it and all of a sudden it's 3 doors down. You don't know whose is whose. This is our insurance. That's just in case.
Good reference to a band there. I got that, Rob.
Yeah.
But he better check his car because these cans are solid and he's probably going to have some damage if they do.
That's right. Well, either way, the kid's probably in trouble. So he'll be on somebody's Ring doorbell.
Absolutely. Or all 5. Yeah.
But speaking of all these great comments, we've got some, you've seen mean celebrity tweets on TV. We decided to add a little bit of positivity. We've gotten some great comments on Facebook. And we wanted to have you read a few of them. We've got some lovely ones here. If you want to just read the ones with the stars next to them, there, Don.
I'm very glad Livonia is going this route. Looks great, and we'll cut down on blowing trash, especially recyclables, on windy trash days, Rob.
Windy trash days.
Yeah.
Got a few more in the back here as well.
Here we go. You're getting older when you're so pumped about getting new trash cans.
That's true.
But honestly, can't wait to have these new bins. Thanks for communicating these changes so well. This is echoing a lot of what we're hearing too. We do have people that are calling in, with questions, but the overall tone of this has been awesome. So I'm more excited about the new bins than I'm about most things, Rob. Would launch those stupid orange tubs out into the sun if I could. I might have to go to this person's house and shake their hand. All right, here we go. Last one. Why is it when I was 25 years old, I could care less about this, but now, hey, I'm 58. It's like a hit. Lotto. So these are awesome.
Spectacular. Special prize goes to our friend Bill Bressler, longtime photographer for The Observer, who quoted, "Yeehaw, we'll take a pair of 96ers. Bring them on." Bill's always good for a good quip on the internet. We appreciate him. But while we're doing all this positivity, while we're bringing this positivity up, we wanted to have a little contest. Social media is fun when you're engaging with stuff. So for those of you out there listening or viewing this on Facebook, we want you to go to the Livonia community page. We're going to throw up a post on there for this contest. And in that contest, we want you to send a picture. Just comment on that post itself with the picture. Send a picture of you enjoying your new trash cans or you showing how excited you are for your new trash cans. And we're going to have a prize for you. It might be a new recycle cart, maybe an extra recycle cart or a trash cart. But we want to keep this positivity rolling because we've seen so many great comments out there. To be able to roll 80,000 trash carts out into the community within such a short span of time and still have people smiling at the end is pretty exceptional, I think. That is a great credit to our friends at Toter doing the deliveries, but also our DPW and our communications team getting the word out and making this happen.
It's been fabulous.
So a special thank you to you, Don, and to our listeners. We will be back in the coming weeks with Livonia on air. And I'd say just have a great day, Livonia.